all the backups. Alrighty. Yeah!
Bad girls make them say wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Say wow.
Alrighty. We're excited. So we have Bec today, everybody. And we're interviewing Bec, and she's nervous as fuck. Currently PMSing as well, so it's really good that she's even here for me. So I'm very grateful, Lady Cakes. She's just got me some yummy Moscato. Let's do a little cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Thank you for having me. I'm really, like crapping myself, but like, we'll be good. All
right, let's just get some like giggle juice into us. Is that Brown Brothers or something?
I don't know, it's actually my sister's, and I'll probably have to replace the bottle.
Okay.
That's all I had in the fridge.
Okay, guys, so my mic crapped out, my other mic, and so I'm going to be doing a lot of this. But she says she's fine because she's going to be holding the Moscato for life.
Oh, good.
Okay, so, right, Bec, let's do a little talk. So let's talk about how we first met from your point of view. And then, like, not from, like, our meeting, but the first time we really, really hung out and got fucking wasted.
We hung out. Well, the first time that I came across you was at a She Knows Business event, and you were this, like, vivacious person taking photos of everyone and, like, making everyone feel so comfortable when taking photos. Like, everyone was like up at the sign, and I was all like, and you're like, come on, babe, like, let's get it. And I was like, oh, okay, let's do this. So it was my first, like, seeing you, meeting you, and then we swapped Instagrams.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
And then the next time when we really got to know each other was a mutual friend's engagement party in Surfers Paradise, and that turned into a bit of a kick-on, I guess you could say.
It really was.
In a very beautiful mansion on the water with I don't even know.
That was probably such a wild. But what I thought was funny is give me some context on the day that you arrived, because that was the first time you and Libre, her husband, was on a kid-free weekend, the first time.
Yes.
And that's how we started. And I saw you in this slinky fucking black dress. And I was like, oh, that's the fucking vibe. Damn it, I should have fucking wore something like, it was slutty and it was hot.
Yeah. It was the only thing I had in my wardrobe. So we literally flew in from Canberra that morning after being at a wedding. Luckily, my mum was here from New Zealand, so we were like, I actually thought the engagement party was on the Saturday, so we couldn't go. But then I was like, oh, it's on Sunday, we can go. We can fly back in. Yeah. So I was like, oh, we're coming. And I literally, that dress was a Kukai dress from the op shop that I bought for like $8.
Fuck.
Yeah. And, but I mean, Kukai just lasts, it's timeless. So, yeah, when I got there, I was kind of like, oh my God, I'm in this like, I should be on Cavalier dress, and everyone's in like flowy, like gorgeous, and I was like, oh, what the fuck, I don't care. Like, honestly, like, I think be your own style, do your own thing.
You literally look so fucking hot. You were a standout. That's why I was like, what? I didn't know it was this type of party. And then I was like, oh, snap. And you were like so fucking hungover. And your Libre was just like, oh.
Yes, a few champagnes and a little bit of moe later, and we were all good to go all night. Well, not all night. We actually had a pretty tame night by my standards.
That was a tame night to your standards?
Home by 11.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, true. But we did it like all day hard and fast.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then my husband was there too, and it was just a fucking wild night. And that's when we solidified.
Yes. And I feel like that night, like being out of sort of the network event space, there was a few other people there as well that we only knew from that space. So it was nice to just be there as friends, and for our husbands also, because our hubbies are never there, because it's, always the women thing.
We were talking about that.
Yeah.
And we were saying how like all these networking things we always do just women, and then our husbands never go. And that was the first time I took my husband.
Yeah. Same. Well, usually he's looking after the kids.
Yeah, true.
So we're like, okay, we've got to go. But my mum was here, so it was great.
I'm so glad she was there, because ever since then, and we became friends. We did naughty things that day and dancing, all the fun stuff. Like, we've just become friends and become closer over Instagram. And I literally lola all your shit, man. And I love following you. Okay, this is where we're gonna, now we'll circle in. Okay, so Bec, tell us a little bit about what you do, because I love what you do. I think it's so fucking cool that you're a mum and you do all this shit and you're so smart at it. And you're good on camera. Like, don't even do that. You are good. And your man is a full-time DJ. I think that's so fucking cool. I remember hearing that at the event. I was like, what? And then he was like, my name's Libre. And I was like, Libre. And he was like, oh, you can roll your ass. I was like, yeah. He's like, white people don't usually do that. I was like, I know, but I'm brown. Okay, so tell us everything. How you here, you're a mom, you're a business lady, you're fucking everything.
Okay, so this is like where my imposter syndrome always comes in, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm just over here. So I started social media because of my daughter. Someone messaged and said, your daughter's really cute, can we send some t-shirts? And I was like, what is this scam?
Oh,
and I was
cool.
like, what do you want with my daughter? She's
not for sale.
But then I looked into the business, and it was like a little mum-run business, and I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of cute. Didn't know anything about this at this stage.
Did you already have like a following and stuff like that? Were you just blogging, or?
So on my personal Instagram, I probably had like 1,000 followers, and that was this was like 7 years ago. So
when it was coming
when it was like you used all the weird filters and like you put like, I don't know, it was just weird. Like I look back at my stuff then and I'm like, God, I hope no one goes back, but I'm too lazy to go delete it all as well.
That's it. You know what I'm doing tonight at 1 a.m. in the morning? Yeah.
All those
for our first post.
Terrible filtered Instagram posts. So it was way back then. So I guess like influencer marketing wasn't a thing back then. I probably was for more celebrities and stuff, and maybe a few like huge big people.
Not everyday people.
But Instagram was just a baby.
Yeah.
So we started doing that, and as the girls got older, I was like, you know, they're not into it anymore. I don't want to push them into like, and I changed my name. My name used to be Bec and Ella because it was all about Ella.
Oh, cute. And how old was she?
She was only like 1 when we started.
That's so cute.
So as they got older, Coco's like my little wild child. She was not into getting photos taken. So it was always just like on the go photos, action shots. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to push them into this. They're not keen anymore. So I changed it to by Bec Jayne.
I love that.
It was a huge thing for me to do because at that stage I did have quite a following, and I was like, oh, what if people are like, who's this? Who's this chick? But it worked well. It became more of a personal lifestyle brand. And
how long did you decide to do that? Because I know people like this listening that don't have like a following, or if they want to and they're like, oh, I don't know, what's so big about changing your name? It's a branding thing. Yeah. It's what you're known for. How long did you sit on that for until you had the guts to like change it?
Probably a month.
Whoa.
Yeah,
my stomach.
Because hubby has been in branding and like graphic design and stuff, so and I've done like courses and stuff, so I knew how important branding was. So for me it was a big change. I had to do a logo, like it's not just an Instagram name. I got my website up, started doing blogs. I'm not so much into blogging at the moment, and I probably should be. So it was a big change and a big deal, but I'm so glad I did it because it just changed the whole trajectory of my growth and my Instagram.
Okay, so what would you say your job is? Like, because I know it's always hard to say, but I feel like you're in social media. Like, it's great.
Yeah, so I usually say to people I'm a content creator.
That's perfect.
And they are so confused, and I have to explain.
I guess if you're not in that world, you don't know what content. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
And then once I explain, they usually go, oh, you're an influencer. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that term. I don't really know. Like, I know a lot of people get offended when they get called influencers. Like,
why?
I don't know. people are like, I'm not an influencer, because I think it's just come up with bad connotations through the years. Like people are like, you're an influencer.
It's like people when they say that they're a coach, and people are like, you're a coach, you're not a therapist, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I guess that's influencers. But it's always the fucking shit people that make it shit, like the minority, and then all the good people, like the micro influencer, whatever influencer you are, you're actually really good, we trust you, man. But then the fucking shit ones are like, nah. And that's what people stick to.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like back in the day with Instagram when you could buy followers and stuff. So there's people out there with like 1 million followers, but there's no engagement. And that's what brands and stuff look for. They look for a proper community, and they'd rather you have less followers and more interactions and more genuine, loyal followers.
Oh, okay. See? Why do you even have imposter syndrome? I fucking love all of that. I just damn that Moscato so hard. Okay, so I'll ask you some questions because so the whole point of this podcast is so people can see like maybe some mums out there or like business ladies who's transitioning to stay-at-home mum life, you know what I mean? So what is the first thing to do if you want to monetize or like just make some fucking money? Like how do you do it? Like, did you have to go to an agency or did you do it yourself?
So when I first started, there was a lot of gifted jobs. So they're like, can we send you this in exchange for content? And I'm like, yep, because it's not fake it to make it, but it's...
You can start somewhere.
You've got to start somewhere. And also, if you're not even getting gifted offers, I think brands that you use, like genuinely... So say you use a type of collagen or whatever, like post about it, tag them. You never know. They might be like...
So you're doing it already and then...
Well, you're already...
Yeah, true.
You're genuinely sharing that product, and then you never know. They might be like, hey, can we send you your next month's worth to promote us? They may or may not. It's not a guarantee, but it also puts it out there so other brands will be like, oh, okay, she knows how to create the content around a product, so maybe we can work with her. So I don't like to say fake it till you make it, because you're not faking it. You're creating the content.
That's true. You're like embodying it already, like as if you're already doing it.
You're embodying it. That's perfect. That's it. So you're...
I like how you just lit up. You're like, that's the word.
So because I'm always like, fake it till you make it. That's not right. Embody who you want to become. So if you want to be a content creator, create content. Because the brands need to see that you can create quality, clear... Like maybe you want to speak to camera, I don't know.
All the
There's
things.
so many different ways to create content. So
okay, so what about if like you're shy as fuck? Let's just say let's do like 5 tips before we get into like the nitty-gritty dirty shit that I'm about to ask you.
Oh my God.
Okay, so let's say they just want to start. Like just 5 tips, real bing bang bong, and then
Okay, number 1 would be engagement. You can't create a community, like you wouldn't go to a network event and stand there and not talk to anyone, right? Same with online. You know, like you've got to build a community. You need to... So many of my people that comment on my stuff, like we return each other's, you know? Like,
so you're like following them.
And we love each other's content. And I'm like, I need to come see what you're up to, because you can get lost on Instagram. Like you can be like, not... You know, you're following someone and you don't see them for 3 months because Instagram doesn't show them to you. So DM them.
That's true.
If you DM them, they're going to pop up in your feed more often. Just be like, hey, if it's someone you look up to, aspire to be like, just, hey, I really love your page, you know, blah, blah, blah. So DMing's good, but engagement's huge.
Okay, so number 1, engagement. I fucking love that one. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I love making friends on Instagram. Look at us. Look where we are right now.
I know. I have so many friends on Insta, so many friends I have never actually met in real life. And we talk every day. Like, it's so cool. It's such a great community. But there is also the dark side to it, which we'll get to.
Oh, yeah.
To, like I said before, just create, like embody who you want to be. 3, you need to really figure out who you're speaking to.
What does that mean?
Me?
Yeah, because I know some people like, what is like are we talking to one person or like are we talking about niching?
Niching. So
I love niching.
But although I can say I've been told to niche down a lot because I do a bit of everything, and I'm like, no, I don't want to niche down.
Yeah.
But I'm still talking to a mum a busy mum.
So you're more like a theme. Your theme is...
Well, yeah. So basically I'm like, okay, I'm talking to a mum who's maybe, you know, their 20s to their 45s now. Like they could have just had a bubba.
True.
And I'm basically just sharing products that I think will help them because they help me, or you know, a nice quote that's gonna like they're gonna open their phone, it's gonna be there, and they're gonna be like, oh,
That's my favorite when people share quotes. I'm like, you get me. The universe sent you to me for that quote.
yeah. And people will DM me and be like, I needed that today, so thank you. And that's one of the best parts about everything. I know. I'm like, okay, we're up to 3, right?
We can just leave it at 3 if those are good ones, because that's really fucking good. It's
Yeah.
community embodying it and fucking
Yeah, this is like when
the
you
main
but,
ones.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can still do that even when you're first.
What's the
starting.
third one? I already forgot. Well, just rewind it and listen to it, people, okay? Those are the tips. All right. So we've learned how to do that. And like, okay, so my beautiful ladies at home, there it is. If you want to make some money at home and do all that kind of, like, you literally can. But now I want to ask some like deep fucking questions. First of all, your accent makes me so wild and horny. Like, I can't handle it. And then you just told me off air that you're like, all right, she's getting entered. Okay.
Sit up for this
Did you want to get another bit of wine?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. We were just quickly talking whilst we were getting wine, and we actually want to circle back to the social media thing because even though I wanted to ask Bec 100 things about her and Libre, her husband, we're just going to get onto this post that she actually did. I think it was like last week or something.
Yeah, maybe a week or a week and a half ago, I think. And I think it's up to 1.5 million. I haven't even checked. I don't even know. Like...
Okay, so give us some context. First of all, you sent me a DM saying, I really want to talk about this on the
Yeah.
podcast. So I'm just going to let you fucking take it away. Hey, you hold the mic because I'm just going to sit and gasp because it is wild.
Yeah, so I mean, my Instagram's never very controversial. It's usually very lovey, and it's like, thank you for sharing that. So I popped this post up, and it said, I've got to quote it properly. It said,
Wait, let's get it.
yeah, let's get it because I want to quote it properly because the way people are, you know, taking it is so polarized, and I was
kind of shook. I was shook.
I've stopped reading the comments because I feel like the people that are writing nasty stuff, you know, they're reading it in a context of their own hurts and their own issues. It's not my issue.
No.
My opinion is what I put up.
I didn't find it controversial.
No, so, well, neither did I. And then I was like, geez. So it says, if you put me in a room with a bunch of women bashing their husbands, I will politely step out.
Like, bye.
I won't be like, fuck you, bitches. Like, I'm out of here. You're all bitches. Politely. My husband is my rock and the most dependable man I've ever met. He is selfless, kind, and best father, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. This was on a reel, by the way, guys.
Yeah, it's on a reel.
Is this your hands?
No,
Oh, yeah.
it's B-roll. So it's at 1.5 million, 61,000 likes, 25,000 shares, 499 comments, which I'm done with. I'm like,
So talk us through like when you first posted, like, oh, this is a cute, like, you know, I love my man. And then when did it all avalanche from there?
So there was one comment, and I did respond to this comment, and it was just like, I can't remember the comment, but it was basically really negative, like, some women need the support, blah, blah. And
I saw that.
I'm like, honey, if a friend came to me with genuine concern and said, look, I'm struggling with my husband, or it's a one-on-one vent, we all need to vent.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about a group of women laughing at their husbands, like trying to one-up on each other. I've been in that situation, so that's where it came from.
Oh,
trying to like one-up each other on how shit their husbands are and laughing about it. And I'm like, I'm sitting there like, I've got nothing to say in this conversation. I'm going to remove myself. This isn't my tribe. This isn't my vibe.
Did you? Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you get any backlash from that?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
You were polite.
Yeah, polite. I didn't be like, yo, bitches, how rude. Like, that's your way. this is my way, and this is an opinion on my own Instagram. And I find it really funny when people comment like, oh, she wouldn't be much fun on a girls' night. And I'm like, hello, she's right here. And I see it all the time on people's posts, like she. And then people get in a conversation on your post. Oh, she's this, she's that. And I'm like,
what, talking about you?
This is my post. Like, chill out. Like, at least speak to me. Like, don't sit there behind your keyboard and be like, she's this, she's that.
Did you cry? Because that scares me.
No. I used to. So, well, I don't know if I used to cry, but I used to have this gut, like that hurt in my gut. I've definitely got a tougher skin now, and I just don't let it come into my energy. So I've had some really nasty comments, mostly from men as well.
Okay,
on
talk
things.
me through it. This is a mum blog, like a mum account.
Yeah. And these dudes, I've seen it on other mums too. Actually, me and a mum got the same comment from 2 different men. Yeah. Like very close to each other. And it was mutton dressed as lamb.
What does that even mean?
She was in activewear, I was in a bikini.
Oh.
And I'm like, so I can't wear a bikini at any age? Mutton dressed as lamb. And that, I actually did post about this. Yeah. And I put it quite public. And I was like, this a year ago would have ruined me. I would have been like embarrassed, upset. Like, it really would have put me in a hole for days. But now I'm just like, you know what? I'm not the one sitting there looking at random women in bikinis and calling them mutton dressed as lamb. Like, why? Like, what are you doing? Go out and meet someone. Go out and...
What has happened in your life for you to be this way?
That's what I think. And I just imagine this dude in his mum's basement who's got no friends. And I actually now more feel sorry for them. And this
is very self-aware of you.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Like,
and that's
a lot of growth.
That's a lot of growth I've done on myself, because I'm like, as my Instagram grows, as like one of my posts hit in 8 million, over 8 million. So that's huge. Like that's exposes me to a lot of people and their opinions. Fortunately, that was all positive on that post. Like that was just bringing my tribe in, like 8 million of you, like wow. But yeah, this controversial post. Apparently people have a lot of opinion, but I just feel like if people see that as woman bashing, then they've probably got a lot of sisterhood wounds that they need to work on, unfortunately. And that's okay, because we've all got stuff that we need to work through. I have worked through a lot of that, so I would never bash another woman. I'm like, you've got to sit here and bash your husband and laugh about it. That's fine. That's on you. Yeah. That's not me. I'm going to step away. Politely. I said politely, damn it.
That was like your big thing. I actually have something to add on to that. Is that okay? So I actually started therapy last year, and it was just like a little while. And the thing was, I started bashing my husband, and instead of therapy, because
to other people?
No. In therapy. Yeah. So just like, and I was like, what the fuck? And then every time I was leaving therapy, because people were like, just vent, you got to say all these things out. And then I was like, I am feeling worse, and I feel so fucking cunty towards my husband, who pays for everything, loves me, gives me the hottest sex, gives me great children, a home, everything. And because and then I'm spending my $300 an hour doing, like, I was like, what the fuck? And then I stopped it, and I said to my therapist, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? And she was like, oh, it's okay to vent. And I was like, no, not like this. And I was so glad that I was like, this isn't what therapy is meant to be. I am very fucking sure of it. And plus, you just communicate with your husband. I just tell him.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say, if you've got issues and you can't communicate to her, no matter how small it is, it's like, I'm always like, babe, you like left the milk out last night. Like, just
fucking hell, man.
Oh my gosh, he's trying to put cereal in the fridge the other day. I'm like, dude. But I understand, because we've got the same brains, and like I'm like doing shit like that all the time. But just little things like that, and it really is, and you can put it in your head and make it stew and stew and stew. And you're like, he didn't stack the dishwasher properly, and you're like, he didn't stack it again properly, and it's like, it's not even properly anyway. It's just the way he does it. Yeah. And you can let that stew and stew and stew in your head, or you can be like, hey, when you stack the dishwasher like that, I have to empty it and the stuff's still quite dirty. So can I just show you a better way? Yeah. And your hubby's not going to be like, what a bitch.
Fuck you.
The dishwasher's like perfect. Like he's going to be receptive to it. And like you just say, it really bothers me, babe.
Yeah.
It's better than you like stomping around for 3 days and being like, you know, and then everything else turns to shit.
And it usually is like, if you're like those little things are happening, it's because something bigger is happening underneath it. And like you can like, I'll call my best friend and be like, and then it's done. But then I'll be like, I'm gonna go talk to my husband. Yeah. Every time I bitch about my husband, I have the worst guilt ever. Like I'm very honest. When I do something bad, I'm like, babe, I talked really bad about you. I'm really sorry. This is what happened. He'll be like, okay, let's talk about it. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. And I'll just cry. And I'm like, But if it's like a big thing, like, yes, you can talk to your best friend, but yeah, like the whole group thing you know, my James actually came up to me and was like, they're talking about their wives really weird. Has Libre ever said anything like that?
No, I don't think he's been in that situation, fortunately. But I know he wouldn't be like, no. He wouldn't say anything bad about me. Like he
fucking adores the shit. When we were at that event together, he could not keep his hands off me. He was just like, I mean, granted you had a kid for a weekend, but like, my God, he's obsessed with the way he looks at you. I'd be like, looking at him, like looking at you, and you just be doing something normal. I'm like, all right, someone has a healthy sex life. Speaking of which, here we go. Okay, so tell us about you and Libre, because I feel like it's not talked enough about how good our husbands are, or how we met, or even if you have a messy start, messy middle, and then coming out on top of that. So tell us, how did you meet? How old were you when you married? All the fucking juicy shit.
Oh man, I don't even know how old we were. We've been married, I don't know. We haven't even celebrated anything. So I think we've been together 10 years this year.
Oh, that's cute.
So we moved in together after like 3 weeks. We got engaged after 6 months.
In New Zealand?
No, in Sydney.
Oh, so when did you move from New Zealand?
So I've lived in Australia on and off since I was 19.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've lived all over. But I just moved back to Sydney. My plan was to move to the Gold Coast. Met him. And we just clicked. So we came for a holiday. No, just in the nightclub.
A nightclub story.
Yeah, well, he's a DJ.
That's right.
I was a party girl. I was always at the club, so.
That's right. I remember him telling me.
Yeah.
He said how you knew all the words and you were like, that's my lady.
Oh my gosh, yes. So we were, I think it was Tupac Hit 'Em Up. And we were in this random, I don't even know, we were in someone's kitchen, you know, on at 4 in the morning. And I'm just like rapping to like Tupac. And he's just like, it's my future wife right there. So, yeah, we just clicked, and 6 months we came to the Gold Coast to visit a friend. We got engaged, yeah.
After 6 months?
After 6 months. After 1 year, both of us, when we met, we were like, we don't want kids. And we were like, we connected on that. And then after a year, I was like, I woke up really hungover one morning. Don't know why. I was like, I want a baby. And he's like, okay, let's do this.
Fuck.
And my...
I love the hangover epiphany. Yeah, actually, there's quite some truth in that.
Yeah.
I feel like because your veil is so thin of everything, there's no overthinking, you just are.
Yeah, there was no overthinking. It was just like, boom. And so we started not partying as hard and eating really healthy, exercising, doing all that stuff because we were planning on a baby.
Before wedding?
Yeah.
Nice.
So the wedding was a backseat because we're like, we want a baby.
Bye.
Don't need to be married for that shit. So my mum's partner had recently passed away, so we organised a cruise and with my mum and some of her friends, and I got on the cruise and I said, oh no, I'm not drinking, we're going to have a baby. And my mum nearly fell off the boat, like seriously, because she's like, but I got rid of all your Barbies and Sylvanians.
Oh no! She's like, oh, you said no.
Yes. And I was like, no. So the cruise was obviously no alcohol and healthy appetites for a few things.
Yeah.
In our little bunk bed cabin. legs up on the roof afterwards to like make sure we had this baby. And 2 weeks after we got back from the cruise, like my mum was really funny. She's like, I was like, we're gonna have this. I didn't
How
even.
old were you?
32, I think, or 31.
So you just like, fuck it.
Yeah, I just switched. And I didn't even think about, like, am I ovulating? Am I doing it? I just said, we didn't do it on this cruise. And my mum's like, it can take, like, years sometimes, you know, like, trying to, because I'm like, no, do it. 2 weeks later, did the test. I was pregnant. It showed up 2 weeks. Whereas with Coco, it didn't show up for, like, 12 weeks. I was like, I'm pregnant. And it kept saying negative. So weird.
Were you still getting a period?
No. So I wasn't, I knew I was pregnant. I was like sick as, I was like, I felt my boobs were sore, everything. And I was like, I'm pregnant. But it kept saying 12 weeks. It kept saying negative.
Really odd. Your first one.
2 weeks, showed up. Boom, there you are. So we moved back to New Zealand to be with family. That's first baby.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You need.
And stayed there for a year, went to Melbourne to see his family. Did not like Melbourne. We're like, Gold Coast is where we're supposed to be. So we planned the Gold Coast. I found out I was pregnant. We got married. I found out I was pregnant after we'd planned the wedding. So I was pregnant at my wedding, 3 months.
Oh, fuck.
But I think it's so cute now. I'm like, oh, it was so cute that we were all there. Yeah. But also like, where's my champers?
Yeah,
like,
I want to get fucked up.
So yeah, it was a very messy after party that I couldn't be part of.
Yeah. Oh, true.
Yeah. But that's okay. Well, I'm thinking we should do another wedding on the Gold Coast.
We fuck off.
Yes. Yes. So that's our story basically. And then
you guys move fucking fast.
we moved to the Gold Coast while I was 7 months pregnant with nothing. I've shared this a lot on my social media. We literally moved over here. We had no jobs lined up. We had an amazing friend who let us stay with her. We found a place in Surfers. I've got a real connection to Surfers Paradise. I don't know why, because it's full of like junkies and stuff. But I knew Surfers Paradise and it had a pool to me. And I'm like, everything's there. Well, I've got a toddler and I'm pregnant and I can just walk to the beach. Like we used to, when they wouldn't sleep and stuff, we used to walk down Cavalab and it was like families everywhere at 8 o'clock at night.
It is a lot of families in Surfers.
It's beautiful. So, so we just moved over because I'm like, if we don't do it now, we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
We'll stay here another year and then it's like, So it was a rough start. Like having a newborn and a toddler, and our husband at the time was working a corporate job, like 7 a.m. till 7 p.m.
I could not see him doing that. How long did he last?
Worst, like, I don't know, 6 months maybe,
Bless
not
him.
even.
Provider dad.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta do this for my fam.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him.
And I'm like, go DJ, like, just get back out there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's our story.
I love that. You don't hear stuff like that. Like, you don't. And so what happened was, before I said to Bec, like, I was telling her what is the point of this podcast, so I could showcase everyone's different lives. And she's like, but I don't have a wild. It's like, yeah, you don't. She was like, I don't have, my story's not wild. It's like, it's because you live it.
Yeah.
But that is. Like, you're fucking, you came with here with nothing.
Yeah.
And you're like telling your man to pursue his dream. You're fucking pregnant as fuck, have a newborn, like, and a toddler, and then you move to Surfers just because, on a pool.
Yeah.
That shit's like woo-woo as fuck. Okay? And I love that shit so hard. So, all right, so you and Libre love each other, all the damn things. And obviously, I just want to keep circulating back to social media.
Yeah.
Purely because that is your thing, but also, like, underneath it. Like, do you find, because you're in a mum space, what is women like? Well, I know what they like because I shoot photos in my circle, but for you, that's like, because I'm out of that mum blog phase now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so do women, do they still feel like they can't have sex, they can't feel sexy, or do they still feel like there's so much shame around that kind of stuff after having a baby? Like, what is your, because I know there was a man that commented about that, but do you have women like ever messaging you and be like, yo, I feel like I can't do this, like I want to be out but I just can't?
Yes, definitely. And I went through that too. Like, I remember having Ella and I got rid of all my, like, you know, slinky cook eye dresses because in my mind I'm like, I'm a mum now, I'm not going to wear those again. Biggest regret ever. Like
fuck,
like the cutest dress, I'd still wear them now. Yes. Like I feel like now I'm I'm like, get that cute little dress on me. But
is it after Coco you got to that realize?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think because I feel like I breastfed both of my girls till they were 2, so I was in like that zone. Unsexy clothes, like whatever you can chuck on just to get your titty out, like like true. So, and you're just so focused on them, and I feel like we do lose ourselves. I actually have a friend who is a doctor wwho talks about this a lot, which you should have on your podcast too. She's amazing. She talks about how we actually become a different person, which is so true.
And we don't fucking talk about
We don't talk about it. She talks about this, so I think it's a great thing to share. We become a different person, and we're not allowed to become a different person. We're just, carry on, go back to work, keep doing what you're doing. And it's like, hang on, I'm not me anymore. Like, I know some mums like really thrive on going back to their jobs after babies because that's their passion and always has been, and that's amazing that they can still have that. But a lot of mums just lose themselves and lose their passions. They lose their interests. They lose their friends. Like especially if you're a mum and you're the one having babies and your friend circle aren't yet.
Was that you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I had no friends when I moved here.
Yeah, I was like, actually, you had no one.
I did have one friend. Okay.
This is fucking good. So tell me how you came out of that losing yourself to now being like really loving with your husband, like wearing that sexy slutty dress that I saw you at the event, because I was drooling and so was your man. So what was that journey, and what can you give you some tips for some sexy ladies out there?
Oh God, I actually don't know when I sort of came back into myself. I think I did a lot of work on myself and a lot more awareness, because I still get anxiety. I was very anxious coming out of motherhood. I mean, I think as soon as you have kids, of course you're anxious. Like you're like,
they're gonna die. Like I have to get to them.
I have to keep these kids alive. Like anxiety is a huge thing for mums. I have so many mums being like, never had it before I became a mum. Now it's here. Like, what do I do? I still get it. I'm working on it. And I think the anxiety of being a mum and then not feeling like yourself, like you just go into this shell. Yeah, and it is a shell. It's a shell. You're not you. There's nothing in there. There's nothing of substance. And you're just like going through the motions of like cooking, cleaning. You got a baby on your boob. Like, I need to take the kids to the park. And some other mum will come and talk to you and you're just like, hi. Like,
I got nothing.
I don't even know.
Is that why you did social media, to connect, to feel
100%? Yeah. Okay. So
it kind of saved you.
Well, once I got into with Ella, and she was so cute, and all the little clothes, and we used to do brand ripping, which was such a big thing. I don't know, I think it still is, but I'm just so out of that scene now. And I remember we'd apply to be brand reps, and we'd get it for this brand, like that was so cool, and it was so exciting, and it gave me something to like feel excited about and like achieve. Whereas I feel like as mums, we achieve so much every day just being a mother, but it doesn't give you that same like boom, it's doing something for yourself.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different. It's like, okay, I've done all this stuff, I've been a mum, I'm amazing, but you still need to have that little thing. And I don't know, that little thing could be as simple as reading. Like I've just got back into reading the good old fantasy novels. Your man
actually DM'd me, was like, did Bec get you into this? I was like, oh, that's something I want to talk about.
Yeah, so you've got to read the Raven Kennedy Plated Prisoner series.
What the fuck?
Each book gets...
Prisoner?
Oh, look out.
They're smart in it.
The first book, I was like, the opening scene, I was like, jeez. By the fifth book, I'm like, wow, this is like, I've got one of my other girlfriends onto it. She's like, whoa, each book just gets, and I've got the sixth book upstairs, but I'm reading another one and I'm just dying to get into it. Okay. But they're too similar, so I've got to read one at a time. So if you really like, the dirty. The
So that helped you come out a
Raven
little bit?
Kennedy. I feel like it just gave me, it was me time. And I like, at nighttime, like, I'm like, oh, like if Libre's working and stuff, or even if he's not, sometimes I'm just like, I just want to read my book.
Yeah.
Like, and it gives me that little bit of excitement, like, I don't know, it's just something to look forward to at the end of the day.
Making me horny right now.
Yeah, because sometimes you literally go through the paces and days, especially when you're thick in motherhood, like when they're little, and you've got, it's horrible to say, but you've got nothing to look forward to.
No,
I mean, you've got your children's
yeah.
life and everything, but you know, you haven't
get
got
what you
those
mean. It's
little...
the same.
Because you lose all your hobbies and what you like to do. So for me, coming back to reading has been amazing. And I also read like spiritual books, self-help books and stuff, which I love too.
And you recommend?
Rebecca Campbell, all her books.
Oh, what's her?
read.
Is it manifestation?
She's just like, it's just life. Like just,
Yeah, good
just
shit.
how to be. Just be
I
like
love
this.
that
And quite often, I've got all her oracle cards as well. And quite often I just open her book at a page and be like, this is what I needed today.
Do you do that for people?
No, just for myself and my hubby and my kids. My kids love it. They're
Can you
really
do
into
one
their
for me?
little oracle cards. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Can we do on the potty?
Yeah.
Yes! That stuff was made for really exciting.
Yeah, I love it.
I just really enjoyed that. I'm like letting it sink in. So you got through like, obviously the social media helped with like you blogging and everything, and then you started reading, and then it's just like, and then you started, what did that make you feel good? And then like little steps, then you were like, actually I do want to wear my little Coco dresses, and then that kind of stuff. And then did you start going out? How old's Coco now?
Coco is 5 and just started school. So this
man, you've
this
been on a
year,
long journey.
yeah, this year is,
Fuck.
and both girls didn't go to daycare or anything. So
Yeah.
they've
Oh,
been,
yeah.
and we homeschooled for a year and a half with Ella. So
What the fuck?
yeah, it's been full on. So this year is so different. Obviously, like with kids at school, it's like. But anyway, back to the question. I feel like just introducing those little things that made you before motherhood. Even if it's like 5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And I know like everyone's like meditate and do this and do
Fuck
that.
that, no,
but
they can't handle that.
I
What?
okay,
No,
that's
go,
a whole other
say it.
subject. Okay, I've just done hypnosis for alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
this is a whole other thing too, but I've been doing those
Tell
meditations.
me more. What do you mean for alcohol? Because we're drinking
Because,
it right now. Is it a
yeah,
bad thing?
no, it's not a bad thing.
Oh,
My issue is I when I binge drink,
Yeah.
I binge drink.
yeah.
So
Because you don't do it a lot. You're a parent.
yeah. So, but when I do, I go crazy, and I'm so days. I lose days. I'm
Oh, yeah.
sick. I don't want to do that anymore. So I've been doing this hypnosis meditation thing,
Yeah.
which for me, because I'm doing it for a purpose, I can do. But whereas when they're like sit for 5 minutes
Yeah.
and shut up, I'm like, like,
Like you need a goal.
need to go.
Okay, so what does this do? Like just to do it okay at the party? Or like
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's actually worked, and I will share more about it on my social media.
Yeah, okay. I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, because the woman that's done it is incredible, and I'm so excited to share her. I physically feel it in my body now that
Oh, like
I've
that's-
had too much. I have that switch now, whereas before I never had that switch. Once that like prefrontal cortex is gone, I'm like, 2 days, let's just keep going. You know,
Yeah, that
obviously I
normal
can't
shit.
because
Yeah,
I just
no.
pass out on the couch because I'm
Yeah.
a mum and I'm tired. I think I can, and
Oh snap!
yeah, and there was just a lot of things around drinking. Like, I don't want my girls to see me hungover.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in bed all day. Like, I've got shit to do.
Yeah,
Like, I've
like-
got goals. I've got like. So I took this on as a collaboration actually, and I
Did they reach
honestly-
out to you?
Yeah.
Whoa!
I
how
honestly
weird.
did not think it would work.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
I'm too far gone.
Yeah.
Like, I've been brought up like this. Like,
It's the culture.
binge drinking is the
Yeah.
culture. Like, this is just all, it's a, what do you call it, genetic
Yeah, it is.
thing.
Yeah.
And it worked. So
How many
keep
months?
an eye out on my socials for this if you're struggling with anything like this, or even if you're, you drink every day. I don't drink every day. Like I'll go weeks and weeks without it, but it's the binge drinking.
That's the issue.
But it also helps if you are a daily drinker and you want to
just chill
out on that. And it's not about quitting. It's about drinking less.
It is. There is this whole culture of anti-wine mums, anti-this, and it's making everyone feel shit for the ones that do just want to have like a little bit.
Oh, I love a wine while I'm making dinner. Yeah. I'll put like Married at First Sight on, have my wine, and I'm like, this just gets me through the night because you're so done by then. You're like, I've got to cook everyone dinner. I've got to get them. I'm like, I just want to have my wine, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. Like it's the binge drinking and the being sick for days and that guilt of like, what have I done to my body? Like 1 or 2 when I feel like it, I'm down. And like I've got afternoon. We call it Prosecco Fridays with other mums from school. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that.
And it's such a great...
Where do you go for that?
Just down to the park.
Fuck off.
And the kids all play and we have our little... Like, we don't get drunk, obviously. We're with our kids.
Tipsy and have fun.
We just enjoy each other's company and a little bit of alcohol. And that's fine to me. I mean, some people, it may not be fine because of their... their journey. But what I loved about this is it's to drink less because I've tried to go cold turkey and I've become a bitter, like nasty
everything
person.
In moderation.
Yes, because I'm like putting this pressure on myself. So it's really worked for me.
And see this side of me? I would never.
Binge drinking is an issue for me, and I like turn on my husband. Like he's like, "Who are you? You're like some demon. Like what is that?"
Like, babe, come on.
And then I wake up guilty. He's not talking to me the next day, and I'm like, fuck, what do I do? And it's I'm literally in tears. I'm shaking. I've got anxiety. I'm vomiting, and I'm like, no more. I'm done. So this has really worked for me and really helped me. Like I get to the point where I'm like, I've had enough, and I drink water in between, which I never used to do. Which is crazy.
So how many months of this did you have to do?
7 days. 7 days.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna can I plug her?
Yeah.
Okay. This is
anything to help anyone.
Georgia Foster she's just said to me, don't pop anything on social media because they're working on their website. Yeah, but I'm like, I can't help it. She's amazing. Okay, perfect. Yeah. She's amazing. She does a lot of work with anxiety and stuff as well. Yeah. So I'm gonna probably do all
7 days.
7 days. I was so skeptical. I was like, bullshit. Yeah. It worked. Like me right now, I'm like, we've had a few ones and I'm happy. I'm done.
Chill too.
Whereas the me a month ago would be like, DoorDash, like we need more wine, like like and I think for me I know now what my binge drinking is. It's because the noise stops in my head and I don't want to lose that feeling. I'm like, I need another one because all that noise is going to come back. I need another one.
So like it just masks it instead of enhancing your life. It's just like covering it.
Yeah. So now I'm like, I've had a couple of wines. I'm quite happy now. I'm like, and I'm done.
Like fun, warm.
I don't want to feel sick tomorrow. I've got
and you
stuff.
got Prosecco Friday today.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
Oh yeah, that'll be kicking off. But but having that awareness and feeling in my body now is incredible to me.
What a shift. That is a huge fucking shift. And then everything from there is just like, boom.
It's changed my life because I'm no longer losing days. I'm more confident in going to things sober, like events and stuff. I'm like, I'll go there sober and then I'll have a few drinks there.
But you don't need to get smashed together.
I would usually do a bottle of wine before I go.
Oh, true. Okay.
Just to feel okay walking into a room full of people. And so it's really built up my confidence and stop me drinking as much and saves me money because I'm not like
DoorDash is like we've lost a loyal customer.
Damn it, DoorDash.
Oh my god, that's actually like so fucking deep. How do you feel like sharing that? Because that's a big part. You don't think?
Yeah. Well, when I took on the collaboration, obviously it's a collaboration to share on social media, and I was like, I don't know about this. Like, people judge me and stuff, but I think it's really important to share because I know as parents, we really don't get to go out and party hard that often. And so many mums are just like, oh my gosh, like I can't control my drinking when I'm out and I've had like 4 or 5 drinks and then I'm like gone.
You're fucked.
I'm just drinking like 8 more and then it's 5 a.m. and I'm like, that's me.
That's legit it though.
And then I'm like so in that like ruin the next day, like the anxiety, the like stress, like yeah. So I'm still testing it, I guess. Like I haven't been in a situation like that where I'm like out of the casino at like midnight. I haven't. Probably happened in like April. Yeah. But I do feel it in my body now. Like my body just literally goes, that's enough.
Fuck.
And that's what, when I talk to other friends about it, they're like, yeah, that's what I feel all the time. And like Libre, like he can have like 3 drinks and then be like, done. And I'm like, where's the bar? You know?
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. And then I feel crap. So yeah, it's really helped my life and I'm pretty excited about it.
Very fucking emotional right now.
Well, this is my first share. I haven't even shared it yet on my profile because they've just sort of asked me to hold back a little bit. But I want to share this to as many people as possible.
And I like that you're not being like, nah, don't fucking drink. Just stop when you need to. That's all. Because the whole, it's like everything in moderation. Like people could exercise heaps and have a shit life, but be like, because they're constricted by things that they can't do all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Or there's people that say, don't do this and do that. But like really, life is to be enjoyed. That's what my husband always says. Like he's like, I want a whiskey tonight. Like, why can't I? Like, why can't I? Just like, yeah, okay, cool. And now I'm seeing like, oh yeah, it is just the binging thing. It's like binging anything, like binging Netflix. You're there for like 2 hours or like 2 days, should I say, on one show.
Sugar, like, you know, even like I used to just eat like so much chocolate at night and then I replaced it with like a hot chocolate that has magnesium and stuff in it. And
that's a vibe.
Little shifts like that, yeah. So I don't know, I feel like it's affected so many, just the hypnosis part has affected so many other places in my life, not just alcohol, because
what do you mean?
It goes through like your inner child, so there's so it's obviously affecting other issues that I have.
So bringing it to the surface.
And it's just leveling out my life.
When are you doing these hypnosis?
So you're supposed to do like a week's worth, and then that's the end, and then you can bring them in whenever you want.
Like, are you sleeping or in the morning?
I would fall asleep to them all the time, and it's okay to fall asleep to them. So in the middle of the day, I was doing them, and then I'm just like, have a rest, and it's great because I never rest in the day. I just push, and I think I need to because I'll just be like caffeine. Yeah. So it was really good just doing that and stopping midday, and just being in that state, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'm ready to go again now. So it was very cool.
It's like a domino effect though.
100%. Like hypnosis isn't really a thing I've ever, it's not that I don't believe it, it's just
it's hard to grasp.
And but now I'm like, I'm a believer. I am a believer. Yeah. So if anyone's struggling, reach out to me and I can help you along with that because Georgia is incredible.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we can end on that because that was really fucking good. Like, I don't even know how we can talk.
Tangent.
But I love tangents.
Yeah.
This is why I don't like to write shit out.
Yeah.
Fuck me. I'm speechless because now that's getting me thinking about all the things. But like I went through my own alcohol journey too, and and now I'm pretty like chill on it.
It's not talked about enough, and I have talked about it a little bit, but I didn't really pull out of it. Like I was like, I'm gonna try January, and then I just went straight back into old patterns. So
I feel like try January is so fucking hard. It's still holiday season. There's Australia Day and all this other shit.
I did it, and I hated every minute of it, and I was like, I just want a wine. But at that time too, I knew one wine would turn into 10 wines.
There's like different times for different. There's literally, I feel like there's no point of rules. Just go tweak it for the season you're in. Because you could go like, yeah, I need to stop fully, and that's what you needed. And then there's other bits where you can just slowly introduce that type of thing.
Yeah, like when it's Christmas time and stuff and you're with family, having drinks, it's like, that's okay. But as long as you don't take it too far, like I always did.
Yeah.
Which I've learned to not to now, which is great.
And also, are you going to be like gentle on yourself if or when you do want to go out and have lots of stuff?
There's a whole session of if you fucked up, it's okay.
Yeah.
And you can put that on and play it, and it's just so like encouraging and no pressure and just sweet. Yeah, you can do this. Be kind to yourself. If you mess it up, you've messed up, but you don't have to mess up again. Yeah, it's very cool.
Bec, that was so fucking good. Thank you so much. Honestly, I did not know where this fucking was gonna go. I thought it was gonna go some other ways, but I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So how can they just talk to you, DM you? What is your thing? How do you want, like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So I am at by Bec Jayne on Instagram.
How do you spell Jane?
Jayne.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, of course, DM me. I'm always up for a chat, and I love it. I love connection, obviously. That's why I'm on social media. But yeah, that's the main place to get me. I never answer my phone, so my phone's always off, and I'm like, Instagram me, because that's where I'm at.
That's so fucking low. Okay, that's so true though. Alrighty, I love you and I appreciate you so fucking much. That wine was good. Not having more is good, because we're gonna sober up and do things too. And I don't even know how to end these things.
No, I don't know either. Just thank you for having me. I'm like
flashing tit. Woo!
Yeah, no, it was great. It was fun, and yeah. In
another like 6 months or something, we'll get like I was just gonna say, like, maybe we'll do like a re-review.
Yeah, that'd be
because great. That's like, this is fresh hypnosis shit, and then in 6 months we'll see what you've learned. Oh, that's a good one.
That'd be amazing.
Let's pencil this fucking shit in winter.
And I'm also going to be working with a new coach for like manifestation, everything. So let's see where I am in 6 months.
Oh, fuck my life. This is good. This is like your own little diary for you to come back to.
It is. It's great.
All right, my babies. I love you and appreciate you. If you have anything about it, whatever, just DM me and talk to Bec, because this is good shit. Okay, I love you. Bye.
Bad girls make them say wow.